What's good, YouTube? This is Kenyelle. Don't forget the XO, and this is
Michaela, his wife.
You already know. Today we wanted to sit down together and make a video about being in Hawaii and things you should know before you actually move here. Alright, so we're gonna start it off with the obvious. Hawaii is an island.
It's an island. You out here and it's just kind of you with a whole bunch of water around.
Yeah, so if you are Amazon Prime lover like myself and Michaela, you can just say goodbye to the next day delivery. That's non-existent. You can order something on Tuesday, and if it gets here on Friday, then that's a good day.
Yeah. Another point about it being an island, you really can't do like road trips if you're a person that enjoys long drives. I mean, obviously it's an island. I can tell you right now, I've already been to most of everywhere on Oahu. I know my way around pretty good, and we just got here in October.
Yeah.
So the fact that it's an island, road trips, you know, taking long drives, you really won't be able to do that like you would be in North Carolina or DMV area. You know, it's 5 hours to North Carolina if you're in the DMV. So,
because sometimes you just want to drive. Like sometimes it's good to know that if you're in North Carolina, you still have that flexibility. Like if I want to drive to New York, I can. Here, you drive 45 minutes and you're going to run into some water.
Yeah,
like
you're at the end of the island.
You're at the end of the island. So you just have to keep in mind, if you're going to move here, that this is an island. All right? So another thing about being on an island, not everything gets shipped here. I remember one time I was on Amazon and I was trying to order something and it said, with your address, it doesn't ship to Hawaii. Yeah. So you have to be mindful that when you're here in Hawaii, there's some things that you normally can just order up, it's not gonna come to you.
Yeah, and as far as like household goods, like couch, bed, you know what I'm saying? It may take you a few months. I mean, with our stuff, it took what?
About 2-3 months.
2-3 months to get here. And even if you're purchasing something on the island, like we got a new couch when we got here, depending on the store, it may not come within 2 weeks. You know, you might be waiting a while, so just be mindful of that.
For sure.
Okay, so the next thing that you should know before moving to Hawaii is the traffic. Now, this is coming from a person or people who have stayed in the DMV area almost a year. Yeah. So we have some experience with the traffic. You guys know that DC is crazy, but Hawaii's traffic is a little different. Just to give you an idea, I work on a good day, it's about an hour from where I live. An hour there and an hour back. So just to give you an idea, the traffic is terrible.
Yeah. And the thing about Hawaii, everybody moves so slowly. Yeah. You remember how President Obama had that smooth bop to him? That's how people drive here. Everything is just so slow and chill. But in Hawaii, it's only like 3 highways. 3 or maybe 4 highways, and everybody is on the same highway at the same time. So,
every single day. And one thing about it, it's not a different route that you can take.
No. There's no shortcuts, there's no back roads.
Shortcuts. You have to go the same route every single day, and you're definitely going to run into traffic.
For sure, for sure. So we're just trying to prep our mind if we know we have to drive at like 4:00 p.m. or 5 o'clock on a weekday. We're prepping our mind, get a good podcast, get a good album, and just vibe out to it, because you're gonna be waiting a good minute. So another thing to be aware of if you decide on moving to Oahu or Hawaii, is far from everything, obviously. But if you look at Hawaii on a map, it's like a teardrop compared to where everything else is in the United States. It's far from everything. That's something that we had to get used to at first. Again, we're used to just getting in the car and just going here and there, but when you're in Hawaii on an island, you are far from everything and everybody.
Yeah. My mom just came in from North Carolina. Altogether, her flight was 13 hours.
Wow. Yeah.
So if you're looking to come to Hawaii, of course it depends on your area, but your flight's gonna be kind of long.
Yeah, but if you do want to just get away from everybody, you want to disconnect, this is the perfect place. Again, the weather is beautiful. You know, people here are friendly for the most part.
Yeah.
So you can kind of just get on this part of the world away from everybody. And I mean everybody.
Another point that you would need to know before moving to Hawaii is it's not very diverse.
At all.
Now, when I say that, just picture in your mind a place that you think is paradise. So somewhere that you would go to retire, somewhere that's warm, somewhere that has beaches. When I think of that, I think of Florida, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you go to Florida, you see brown
All
people,
kinds
you
of
see, white people, you see all different kind of races. And there's things that cater to other races.
Each race, yeah.
Each race. Black people have things that they can do when they go to Florida. White people have things that they can do. But it's not necessarily like that here in Hawaii.
Yeah, it's more of just like a Hawaiian feel. You know how you go to certain states and you have, okay, this is like the African American part of it, or the white part of it, or the Hispanic part of it. This is just all Hawaiian, and you always feel like a visitor. Technically you are if you don't live here long term and you haven't grown up here, but you still feel like, okay, I'm not really from here, I'm just here. So yeah,
it's not a place that, well, I know for us, it's not really a place that makes you feel like you can make it home.
Yeah.
Like he said, you always feel like a visitor.
So the next thing you should prepare your mind for is everything is expensive here.
Everything.
And I mean everything. If you go down to gas, milk, housing. I remember we were like near the beach in Waikiki, and one like small house, maybe like 2-bedroom house, almost $1 million, just because it's by the beach.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's hard to wrap your mind around it. You have to have a lot of money to have a nice house here in Hawaii.
Groceries, like my husband was mentioning, milk is high, groceries is high. We just went to Target the other day, and my mom, who is from North Carolina, she was like, everything is high. I brought a 2-pack of toothpaste. It was $9.
Yes, it's crazy here. And I think everything is higher because everything has to get shipped here. Everything has to get shipped here, and that takes money. That takes money. So you just have to prepare your bank account and prepare your purse whenever you get to Hawaii, because you have to know that you're gonna need some bread if you're gonna live here long term.
So another thing that you should know if you plan on moving here, just being able to experience a new culture, something different, something new, like out of the ordinary. Just seeing the scenery here, seeing the native people here is really amazing, honestly.
And it's beautiful. I mean, obviously they have like the best beaches in the world. The weather is like top notch. My parents were sending me pictures, and all my homeboys that live like in the Maryland area was sending me pictures of the snow falling, and they was sending screenshots of how cold it was, 25 degrees, 30 degrees, and I looked at my phone and it was 78 degrees. 78 degrees, right? So that's just some of the benefits of being in Hawaii, especially during the winter months. Ain't nobody got time for all that coldness, all that snow. So that's probably my favorite thing about being in Hawaii. Just the weather, the beaches. Waikiki Beach, it's my favorite beach. You like that beach?
Yeah,
that's
I like
my
that
favorite beach. It's so much stuff to do, and it's like a big tourist attraction. So that's probably my favorite thing about living here. So the last and final thing you should know if you're deciding on moving here is to enjoy your time here. I mean, how many people can say that they can live in Hawaii? And my advice to you would be, get a phone, take pictures, take videos, record memories, because maybe for you it may not be long term. Maybe it's for a year or 2 years, but you can say that I lived in Hawaii. Living in Hawaii just sounds a lot better than I lived in Colorado. I lived in Nebraska or anything like that. So living in Hawaii is tropical. It has its pros and cons, but I will say if you do get the chance to live here long term, take it all in and enjoy each moment. Because I know we are.
Definitely. And it's nice to have a place like Hawaii that our family and our friends can come and visit. So like my husband said, make sure you guys take pictures and just enjoy every moment of it.
Absolutely. So hopefully those tips will help you if you're deciding on moving to Hawaii. And like I end every single video,
y'all be cool.
Y'all be cool.
It's a it's an amazing feeling.